Getting a little
That's what
lippy, huh?
every woman says. Every woman says it's not that bad. But you
Somebody's
know
getting a
why?
little lippy.
Because women don't have to live with themselves.
They do.
No, you don't. Y'all think you're all perfect. Y'all don't ever think something's wrong with you.
I'm not perfect.
We know.
What surprises me is the fact that you agree with it so quickly when I say
I'm
Why
not
why
gonna lie to you. I'm not
yes.
gonna lie to you. I'm gonna tell you the truth.
why is that surprising? You're in the red pill?
You
Come
know what?
on.
This is funny because this kind of brings up this next like reaction. Okay, so
Okay.
there's this question that's been going around, right? I first heard it this morning on you guys know who Lucario is?
No.
I've heard
Okay,
the
well
name.
Lucario was talking about this, and then um Pearl and Fresh and Fit are doing a stream together. They did a stream together in
Uh-huh.
London. I know people, it's crazy. I know everybody like, oh my god, the red pill. I get it. Yeah, it's great to see the unity. This is exactly what we needed. Um, but like a question gets asked in a super chat about this like Twitter post that's been, kind of going viral. And I'm gonna play the Fresh and Fit question right now, and we'll talk about it because as women think things are always not that bad. This
Mhm.
is one of these scenarios where women are getting upset because they think this is not that bad.
Okay.
So let me explain. Well, let Fresh explain. Here we go. Come on, Fresh, start speaking.
Says, question, ladies. A man divorced his wife for withholding sex. They only had
Oh,
sex three
that went
twice
viral.
in 2 years.
Yeah.
Was he right or wrong for divorcing her? And what are your thoughts on women withholding sex from men?
Hold on,
Evil,
before
it's
we ask
evil.
that, Pro or
Evil.
Troy, do you guys want to hit a question first?
Yeah, you want
Oh,
to go
no, you
first?
can start.
All right, so I'm not going to even play their reactions. You guys can watch their show to get the reactions, but that was the question. So the question was, or the comment was like this guy divorced his wife after 2 years of only having sex twice within 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like the man was
Mhm.
in a sexless marriage.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he's like, all right, you ain't giving me no ass. I waited 2 years. I'm out. And some people are like, really freaking out about this, saying like, some of the trad cons are saying like, oh, he shouldn't have divorced her. You're only supposed to divorce for, uh, sexual immorality and abandonment and blah blah blah. Like stuff like that. And um, you know,
Well
I have my opinion on it.
but it isn't not withholding sex in the Bible defined as part
Oh
of
no
the
no 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 no! You can't bring up First Corinthians 7.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're not going there yet.
We're
You
not
can't
allowed
do
to
that.
use
That
the Bible.
that
Okay,
that
gotcha.
scripture is not applicable today. Because remember, the
Okay.
egalitarians and the complementarians, they just kind of like shitted on the Bible.
Yeah, what
So you
Bible?
can't bring up that scripture, but you can always bring up Ephesians 5 when it talks about husbands, you got to love your wife like Christ loved the church. But you can never talk about the part where it says husbands and wives can't deny themselves sexually from one another unless it's committed for a time of prayer and fasting. No, you can't bring up that part. No, you got to just bring up how husbands got to be a servant leader and be a little bitch to their wives and serve them. And go ahead.
Well, look, they say that there are only two reasons. They agree with the Bible, surprise, surprise, that divorce should be done when there is sexual immorality and abandonment. But when
Mhm.
a wife refuses sex to her
Don't
husband,
steal my line. Don't you dare steal my line. I
no,
made that line
no,
up.
no, this is abandonment because she
Okay, I never
abandons
said
to
that.
have sexual intercourse with him.
Well, I actually say, and this is my personal opinion, and I've said this for a while now.
Mhm.
I believe that if a wife is refusing sex from refusing to have sex with her husband, right? And I'm not talking about like, oh, she's sick, like she's legitimately sick,
Mhm.
like, okay, I get that. Or like legitimately they're committing time for prayer fasting, or she's on her period. Like I'm not talking about those
Yeah.
times, okay?
Mhm.
But like if she's like really just no, you were not getting this no more or whatever. Like she's always having a headache.
Yeah.
There's always an excuse. She's always asleep before, like, he gets, that kind of thing. Um, to me, withholding sex from your spouse is sexual immorality
Mm-hmm.
because the only place that you are allowed to have sex is in the
Mhm.
confines of a marriage.
Mhm.
So if sex is only permitted in a marriage, right? So what is sexual immorality? Let's go through that. Okay. That is gay sex. All right. Gay sex, lesbian sex, donkey sex. That means animal sex. Incest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
These are all sexual immorality. Um, hooking up like premarital sex,
Yep.
um, banging, prostitutes, right?
Yep.
That's all sexual immorality. But see, that's sexual immorality outside the marriage, right? Sexual immorality inside a marriage would be adultery
Yep.
and denying your spouse their sexual access to your body. So if you withhold sex from your husband, ladies, you are sinning. And if you are sinning, you are causing sexual immorality. And if the guy is only getting sex twice in 2 years, I guarantee you that man has been jacking off for 2
There,
years.
there's porn involved in his life somewhere.
Oh, yes. And he said, you know what? I'm tired of watching porn. I've given this woman 2 damn years to get her act together. I'm
Mm-hmm.
out. I'm out. I mean, we don't know. They may have gone to counseling. I'm pretty sure he went to counseling, and try to work this out. And I don't blame him. I salute him. I say, thank you, sir. Do it. Go do your thing.
We need more men willing to do this.
Yes,
Yep.
we do.
Like he said, like, think about it. He's like, you know what? I don't care what's gonna happen to me. Like, I don't care if I'm gonna have to pay her alimony or not. I'm not gonna go another day without sex. I'm not gonna live with a marriage or be in a marriage that my wife is not giving me sex. That's what this exchange is. That's why we got married.
Well, that's why he got married.
Well, I
She
mean,
got
like,
married for something else, clearly.
apparently. So yeah, I don't think he did anything wrong. What do you guys think? Well, Elena already thinks she abandoned him. And you're right, she did abandon the vows. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
She abandoned the marriage covenant.
Mm-hmm.
She's not respecting her husband.
Mhm.
Ephesians 5 says women need to respect their husbands. She's
Mm-hmm.
not submitting to her husbands. Ephesians 5 talks about submitting to your husbands.
Mhm.
The Bible also says, let your wife's breastises, pleasure you. There's a lot of sexy stuff in the Bible, people. And it encourages ladies to be sexy with their husbands.
Only with the husbands.
Only with their
Not-
husbands.
Not
So
some.
it's like,
Yeah.
if this guy is not getting sex in 2 years, do you think she went 2 years without getting
Without
sex?
sex.
Like, she only had sex twice in those 2 years?
No.
I doubt that. Does she have a Instagram profile?
I don't know. Did she need one?
She probably is doing it on social media.
I'm saying, like,
Get the simp army.
women don't even need social media to get sex. But I mean, yeah, they could use social media to meet people to get sex, but they don't need to. All you got to do is go outside and go like, "Hey, you want sex?"
Yeah. There are a lot
And
of desperate men
And the
out
thing
there.
is, like, the guy literally thought, like, for a while, like, okay, you know what? Women are just not as horny as men. They don't have as much testosterone as men do. So maybe she just doesn't have the desire to have sex as often as I do. No, bro. No, bro.
That's gaslighting, by the way.
Yes.
Okay. Your wife desires to fuck. She would rather fuck anybody but you.
Yep. And she's gaslighting you by telling you that,
Yep.
oh, it's a headache. No, it's not a headache.
I'll
Sorry,
make your
it's not.
headache.
Yeah.
I have a headache too.
when it comes to paying the bills and doing the man
Oh,
job.
I'm so glad that went right over her head.
It
Ah,
did.
I see.
No, you
No,
don't. But it's
you could
okay.
say,
It's okay.
It's okay.
you know, if she brings you some debts or problems to solve, you could say, "Oh, sweetie, I have a headache. I don't want to deal with it right now."
No, see, I have a rule. Like my rule is like, look, unless it's like a medical emergency,
Yeah.
you go. If I go without for about 30 days, I'm issuing you an eviction notice. You better be in some You better be in some body cast or rent is like mortgage and rent are due the first of the month.
Yeah.
You got 30 days to pay up.
Pay your bills, sweetie.
Pay your
Yeah.
bills. Yeah.
But it's like at that point for him, like there has to be like I mean, I think he probably went through the 2 years as a formality. As soon as he
Mhm.
realized like this is not happening, I think it's like the 2 years was a formality. Okay, we're gonna try all the counseling, we're gonna try the
Mhm.
pastor, we're gonna try this, we're gonna try that. I'm gonna try everything I can
Yeah.
to try to get her back to wanting to have sex with me. And at that point, when he's like, I've done everything, I've tried everything, I'm out.
I can understand where guys would, and I think we get a little unfair in the red pill for calling guys out doing this because no, I know you can't negotiate desire, but there is something to be said for collecting the evidence,
Yeah, I think it was evidence.
right?
Well,
Mhm.
it's like here's the thing. At some point, he stopped doing what he was doing for her to desire him. Okay. And
If
I'm
she
not
ever
going to put
did.
it, I'm not going to, no, I'm not going to put it all on her because we don't know how long they were married. Right. Let's say they were married for like 5, 10 years. Okay.
Okay.
He's only saying that, he went without sex like once a year for 2 years.
Okay.
Right. Or only had sex once a year for 2 years. So 2 times in the last 2 years.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't say when he got married.
So he didn't say like there was this lack of sex issue prior. Okay.
Well, in this case, I guarantee there's another guy that she was doing.
I guarantee you that
Yeah.
either she was cheating and she moved on and
Yeah.
Mhm.
she was just living off of him,
Yep.
or that the sex gradually dropped to the point where became normalized that they weren't having sex frequently to the point where like he's only getting sex now once a year.
Mhm.
And that has to do with him dropping the ball somewhere and no longer maintaining that desire she had for him. Because he's still got to do the work, you know. He's still got to do the work to. Because I guarantee you that if they weren't fucking before they got married, I'm not sure they were. If she wasn't showing that she had sexual interest in him before they got married, by either fucking him or showing that as soon as they get married, she's gonna fuck him. You know, he wouldn't have married her.
Well, here's the thing though. A lot of women will show you sexual interest before getting married, shortly after getting married, and then you find out later that it was like, was it real or was it they were getting something for it? Getting their bills paid, so to speak.
Mhm.
Okay,
I
so if you're getting your bills paid, then if that's what you did it for, why are you gonna stop knowing that as soon as you stop, you might actually end up having to start paying your own bills?
I don't think
If
women
you
think about
married
it
the
like
dude
that.
for bills, like you better keep him well serviced.
See, I
Unless
don't
you find plan B. If she already
right.
has another dude lined up, she's not going
She
to stay with
that
this one.
this is the monkey branch. She didn't have a
Yeah.
monkey branch set up, and so when she got the monkey branch, she's like, "Oh, okay, I can stop." Women
But then
think
why didn't she just swing away? Why stay there?
Well,
because she
maybe
didn't
because he
she
makes more money.
well, no, she couldn't find a better branch right away. So you stick around
Yeah.
For
while you're
2
waiting.
years? So
Sure.
you don't put out for 2 years?
Well, if she's got another dude, she's never gonna put out again,
So then
but
if she has another dude, then why isn't she swinging across, you know?
oh, that's actually a bit of a thing in culture right now, because you'll hear all these girls talking about, "I have one dude for fucking, but he's not marriage material," and so they'll have
Oh,
this.
really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
These
this is
hoes are
actually.
like that these days?
Yes.
Yeah, there was actually a little TikTok clip I saw this a few days ago, and
You know what
it's
this
just.
kinda brings up? And this is like a whole nother topic, but it kinda is like on sticks to this topic. Remember we talked about, like, wanting to do a topic on, like, girlfriends are better than wives?
Yep, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a perfect case of this. Because I guarantee you that she was obviously a way better girlfriend than she was a
Mhm,
wife.
mhm,
And because of that, because she was probably a way better girlfriend, he decided to marry her, right?
yeah, yeah,
And that didn't work out for him. And so
clearly.
when the guys in the red pill say, like, girlfriends are better than wives, I understand it. From a secular point of view, like, it's like, why ruin a good thing? Like, because when you're a girlfriend, you're still kind of like, having to prove yourself because the end goal is the ring and him taking care of you.
Yeah.
Mhm,
And if you're a girlfriend, you're not entitled to that. So you still got to put in, do your thing to get him to the altar, right? You got to do your thing to get him to want to marry you and then
Mhm.
to marry you. So women are putting in the work is as in trying to, prove to this guy that like she's the one and prove to him that she is worth his investment.
mhm,
And one way that women do that is, well, providing that sexual satisfaction.
yeah, and
And
I
the sad thing is there's too many stories like this where, a guy gets married
Mhm.
and somewhere down the line, whether he is stopped doing what he needs to do to keep her desire there, or as you're pointing out, like um she gamed him. But guys always say, man, she was such a great girlfriend.
yes,
I always hear that, like, man, like I thought she was one. She was such a great girlfriend.
my
And
ex was a great girlfriend.
I'm like, then what happened? So I don't know. And then some of them always tell me, like, I'll hear this, like, yeah, I stopped working out or I stopped, started
Mhm.
working more and, we had kids and, just like they start
Mhm,
telling me
yeah,
the normal stuff. And it's like, okay, so you lost that attraction. You lost her attraction, and there's some fixes are sometimes it's just easy as guys getting back in shape and bringing back their sex appeal that they once had, and other women noticing how attractive they are or whatever, and that soft dread right there is
mhm.
sometimes it's all is needed to get your wife back in line. Then now she starts remembering, oh my god, damn, he is looking good. Oh my, I don't want if I need to take care of
Oh,
this guy because if I don't, somebody else will.
Well
oh,
well, Glenn, there is a flip side, and I lived this. I went back to the gym
Mhm.
when she stopped putting out. I went back. I got a brand new job and a 50% raise to go with it. Like, I was
Dang.
starting. Yeah, yeah, I was starting to really improve my life, and then 6 months after I'm doing all this stuff is when she decides to go play tonsil hockey.
Elena, how dare you?
why? What?
You did that to him?
I'm innocent
You
here.
Russian whore.
No, this would be my ex. Now, if she does that to me, she gets
I know where I end up.
she ends up in the streets.
Exactly.
But, like, it's a real thing. That is my story. And so
Yeah.
there are like, when this guy's saying this, I didn't immediately assume that that he lost his frame in his game because
Well, he had to
didn't
lose
always
frame.
have
He had to lose frame, and he had to lose her desire.
okay,
Even if she was faking it.
maybe somewhere, yes. But like
I'm
when
not
this
putting this all
happened,
on her. This is not we can't put it all on her.
yeah, but
Okay.
I'm just saying that it isn't always that that
No,
he
I
fell
know.
apart.
It's not always the guy is wrong. But it is always he is either missed something or he stopped doing something or he failed to do something. Okay?
See, I
Because
don't
as
know.
soon
I don't know. I don't know if I can say it's always that he failed to do
well,
something
yes, he
because
did. You know why? I'll tell you. He failed to put the fear in God in her, but like, hey, you, you start doing this, yeah.
well, see, if she's monkey branching and she's prepared for it, a lot of times they're just going to look at him and go, "Great, I'm out." Like
Yeah.
Okay, so then if that's the case, then he failed to vet her properly.
that's probably true.
Okay,
And
and let's say she did like have a little attraction to him. Maybe not like a whole full-blown genuine desire, but maybe she's like, yeah, I can see
not
that.
too
Enough
shabby.
to marry him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Like
yeah.
enough to like, I'll make this work. I can make this work. He's a nice guy. He's maybe not the most attractive, but he's a sweetheart, whatever. Then the guy somehow failed to maintain or increase that attraction level that she had. And actually it just
Well,
decreased over time
Glenn,
because he failed to do something.
yeah, I see your point, but if she wanted to retire, she would pick the guy who had a decent job. She would fake the genuine desire, so she would be taken care of. And then once she found the alpha chat that she really wants to be fucked with, she would leave this guy. She would only use him as a temporary solution,
Yeah, but she would have left and not made him like and not hear him bitch about how he's not getting any ass for like the next 2 years.
I don't know, Glenn. I think that's an assumption on your part because I have read stories and listened to other men describe
Okay. Let
situations
me say
where
this. I'm
they
not
they
I'm
they
not saying that it's not possible. I'm just saying if that's the case, if he allowed it, then he normalized it. He
that's
normalized the lack
yeah,
of
yeah,
sex.
that's
And
that's
then
that's
therefore that is his fault.
oh no, he has blame here.
well, and he realized that this is why he divorced
Yeah,
her.
but
Yeah,
he also realized it, and so it's like yeah, he might have lost track, but he didn't lose so much track that he didn't file papers, right?
Exactly.
we don't know
Yeah.
how long, like we know that for at least 2 years, he only had sex twice within 2 years. So I guarantee you, at some point, whatever the frequency was before, it had to slowly decrease to the point where it's at. Because you're not going from fucking to only once a year. That just doesn't happen. You don't go from
Well,
fucking like rabbits, or
yeah.
whether it's like 3 times a week to just
Okay,
once
Glenn.
a
Okay,
year
how
without a
about this?
gradual decline.
Well, it could be a gradual decline from a low level, a low starting level, because we have so normalized this
Mhm.
narrative of women don't actually want to have sex; they have the lower sex drive. If it started from a low level, like let's say 6 times a year down to two over the
What
course
what
of
what
10 years, then
what
you're not going to. Then it can take a while to notice that that's what's happening.
but what newlywed couple only has sex 6 times a year?
Well, the
Those
statistics say
first
quite a
2
bit of them.
years, those first 2 years, you're a year and a half at least, you're putting in the work. You're
Well,
getting it pretty regularly. And
um,
then it goes, maybe 3 times a week, right? And that's like a happy couple, right?
Well,
And
okay,
then from
okay.
there, that's when it decreases to like 2 times a week, then it's once a week, then it's once every other week, then it's once a month, then it's once a year or once every 6 months, and then it's once a year. Like it's a gradual process, but nobody
It's a
gets
great.
married just to get in a sexist like 6 times a week relationship or a year relationship.
So that's actually So I was married for 2.5 years, and the last half year there was no sex, and we went from the honeymoon to not having sex at all in 2 years. It
But
was
there
pretty
was a gradual it gradually declined, right? In that time.
oh boy,
It
I
got
have
less
to
It,
it
remember.
got
maybe it wasn't great to begin with because a lot of men are blindsided. A woman says yes to the marriage. It's like they having this prize that they need to
Yeah,
take care of, and then they are like, oh, "She said yes," and they completely give up their control and authority to the woman. And then it starts slow. If it starts slow, then if
right.
in
It,
2
it,
but
years,
it
like
actually started fairly low.
yeah.
Um,
so you said you went from the honeymoon phase, which is pretty frequent sex,
yep, and it
to
and it was uh,
no sex in 2 years, right?
in 2 years. Oh yeah,
So
and and
yours
it
yours
was not a
grad
straight line. It was not a straight line. It was a it was a lot. It tailed off fairly quickly after about a year, and then there was a year of just kind of phoning it in on her part, honestly, and then it ended.
so
And
then you saw where it dropped then. You know where
oh,
it
I
dropped.
know exactly where it did,
So then
and
that was your decline, right? That was your gradual decline to where you decided, you're out. So at that point, once you notice, that should have been like the point, the pivotal point for that guy to be like, hey, wait a minute, hey, something's off here.
well, I had that, and I started trying to change things, but standard blue pill programming, we don't do the right stuff.
Yeah.
And it
So
doesn't make it and it doesn't like one of the values of the value that red pill brings to married men is to say, hey, look, here's what you actually need to be doing. And I didn't have that until after the divorce. So,
and see
but
that's what I'm getting at, right? Like, so there's something the guy failed to do, right? He failed to either do the right thing or you know, uh implement soft dread.
right. But a lot of guys don't have these tools. Like we say
At
soft
the end of
red.
the I get it, but I'm saying at the end of the day, they still failed to do what needed
That's
to be
true.
done.
That's true.
Well, Glenn, also I have a question. If a man sacrifices his frame the moment a woman says yes to him, and then over time he tries to regain the control, and the woman has already accepted those conditions that were given to her, so she kind of signed a contract that she's going to be the leader. He is a subservient imbecile, right? And then a man suddenly decides, okay, I'm done with this BS. I want my control. I want the authority. I want you to submit to me, right? He
Mhm.
decides he wants to be a man. Then a woman is rebelling. She doesn't want that because this is not the initial contract that she signed with him.
Well,
This is
yeah,
not
but
the
you know what?
agreement.
He's entitled to change that. And if she doesn't like it, she's entitled to leave.
Well, and I think this
That's
is
what she
what
did.
might have happened in that case.
No, no, no. He left her.
Yeah, yeah. In this case, he left. He
Yeah.
did what I did.
At the
Well,
end of the day,
exactly.
I don't think he did anything wrong. He gave her grace. He gave her 2 years to get her
Yep.
act together.
Yep. Yep.
She didn't get her act together, and he's like, "You know what? I'm out."
Yeah, he
That's what I
tried
did.
to change. He tried to change the agreement, right, with her, but she
We
didn't
don't know.
want it.
It's not part of the story. But he gave his wife more than I gave mine.
Yeah, like
Mine got 6 months.
he did I mean, whether he failed at, like, using that time that he was giving her to um improve, his status or his,
Mhm.
position in her eyes or not. Like, I mean, most guys, they end up squandering that time, and they don't use it correctly. They use it to, like, put it all on her, like, to give her all the attention. They think that if they just, like, constantly just, like,
Simp
you
for
know
her. Yeah.
smother her with love and affection and all the love, all these niceties, that would increase her sex drive for him.
They're trying to buy love.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Instead of, saying, all right, you don't want to give me no ass, I'm going to the gym, I'm gonna go work out, and there's this
Mhm.
hot chick over there, I'm gonna think about her while I'm working out, she has a nice ass. Like, like
Yeah.
instead of like implementing some form of soft dread, he probably tried to like cater to her more
Well,
and
that's what we're told to
negotiate.
do. Well, that's
Yeah.
what we're told to do.
Well, yeah, and look at the laws. If he even pulls something off like that, he goes to the gym, especially if he's wealthy and he didn't sign the prenuptial agreement with her. She can take half of what he owns and then his kids in addition to that, if he tries to regain the control and regain the authority.
Well, that depends. Like it depends if they had kids. We don't know if they had kids.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, but the law is structured in a way that a woman benefits still, right?
Yeah,
He
but
still has to pay
not if
alimony.
the marriage is under 10 years. Like I think you have to get like 10 years before you're automatically like I mean not
It
you're not
varies by state.
yeah, like I think once you hit 10 years, like you get alimony for life
Oh, I see.
as
Okay.
long as you don't get married again. Right.
Yes.
So you could say that let's say they're married 5 years. She's still getting something,
Yeah.
but she ain't getting a whole lot. And the guy's probably like, you know what? What's my alimony going to be, lawyer? Oh, I only got to pay her like what? You said 600 a month?
To get rid of you.
Oh, yeah. I would do that. I'll go pay 600 a month and still get a hooker. I can't have enough to afford that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. 600 a month, that would not be enough to that's
I'm
what
pretty sure
two,
like,
two dates.
well, because it's like, the earlier you get it done,
The better.
the less you're going to
That
pay.
is true. That is true.
So we don't know. All we know is like he divorced her after 2 years of only having sex twice.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know. It could have been a similar situation as you. Like he could have been married for only 4 years, and the first year was hot, and then second year started declining, and then by the time I got to the fourth year, he was like, "Okay, I'm out."
Mhm.
So I mean, at the end of the day, I think he did it. He did the right thing. I don't think he did anything wrong.
I agree. He did the right thing.
So,
Well,
Elena, you know what that means, right? Yeah, I don't want to hear him ever say anything. You have been well warned.
Oh, I know.
I heard Russia's really cold this time of year.
It is, yeah.
I would hate to see you get sent back.
And she can still go back.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. She has all the necessary documentation. She can go back.
Yeah, she's probably gonna do that after she kills you for wanting to sleep with that 50-year-old, 1,000-year-old.
There it is.
She's like, bro, go ahead. She's like, keep on making your dumbass threats. Go ahead. Go ahead. She's like, you remember this story? Oh, let me remind you.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
She's like, I don't forget nothing.
exactly.
She doesn't.
You want to go sleep with that 50-year-old whore?
In the grandma house somewhere.
You can go sleep with a senior citizen. She's like, I don't want to fuck
Yeah.
you. You want to fuck senior citizens. You want that old pussy. I got that new pussy. You don't want none of this. Okay. Last thoughts, you guys.
He didn't do anything wrong, and I congratulate him for getting out, pulling the ejection handle. It was the right move, brother.
Yep, I agree. Elena, do you have any words of encouragement for the woman?
For the woman.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
You know, we need a sound drop from you. We need a new sound drop. We need a be his whore. Be his whore. So we could shame the whores, but you also need a be his whore one.
That's
Yeah.
actually a
For
good
the
idea.
wife.
So that she only is a whore for one man that she
Yep.
marries.
Exactly.
I like it. I'll make a sound drop for you.
Awesome. Any
Yeah.
last words?
Well, she belongs to the streets. Kick her out. I say that she belongs to the trash bins. And leave her there where she is. Don't pick her up. Because you
So,
look.
should we insert like an Oscar or Grouch meme right here?
You can, yeah.